Good morning, this is Vicky.
And this is Jo.
And we're the Two Natural Ladies.
And we talk about the good news we all need and ways of getting the most out of life.
We help people with practical, uplifting ways we can all make a difference.
And we're striving for better, not perfect.
And we love a good laugh. Please enjoy the show.
So, good morning, and this podcast is brought to you by the Two Natural Ladies. Yay!
Woo!
And today we're going to talk about the wonderful essential oils range that we have. And for me, it's about actually feeling the need for them this morning. We'll talk about that later, the morning that I've had. But I've actually put in my vaporizer that you see behind me. I have put in Inspiration Blend, which is just divine. I just love it. And it has bergamot, cedarwood, mandarin, lemon, lemongrass, and lime essential oils.
Which is interesting because the one I love, I love inspiration too. I love being inspired. I love the exuberance one, and it has bergamot, lime, and lemongrass, which are the same as yours because they are similar fragrances. They're both very uplifting fragrances.
Yes.
But mine also has rosewood, lemon myrtle, peppermint, and eucalyptus.
Right.
So it has 7 different oils in the one oil, which is great because oils are amazing. They are the properties in them are incredible when it comes to being uplifting, and they work on all sorts of levels, as we know. And individually, you can use like eucalyptus or whatever. However, it's also great when you blend them, and it's so good to be able to just buy the blend rather than having to make it up. I mean, making it up's great, but we have full lives, and it's just great to go, well-being, stress-free.
Yes. Pure thoughts, because of course we all have those.
Oh, all the time, not.
Yeah. So the whole essential oil range is just amazing. I can't really sing its praises enough. I mean, there's practical uses like the tea tree oil. I was using it last night. We went for a walk at sunset, and my hubby and I both came back feeling a bit like itchy, like we've been bitten. So on went the tea tree oil, and off went the itchiness straight away. So they're amazing.
They are. So just go to twonaturalladies.com.au and check out our oil range.
Yes, and everything else we have there, because everything is awesome.
It is.
The Two Natural
Everything
Ladies.
is awesome. Well, Vicky, on to the next topic, which is what have you been doing this morning?
Well, something completely unplanned.
Yes.
We'll start there. I returned a dog. I drove a dog half an hour away to drop him off. And the reason why I had this dog is because last night I took him in. I volunteer, as we've spoken about before, as a foster carer, and I haven't done any fostering for a while. I had sent a message to the coordinator and said, I know it's a busy time for you. There's dogs everywhere that need rehoming. I'll help. And so she said, okay, thanks. And I didn't hear from her for about a day. And then she said, can you please take this dog off another carer because her dogs aren't coping? And then I thought, well, are my dogs going to be able to cope? He's a puppy. But the girl I got her from said, no, it's, it should be fine. He just needs somebody, a couple of dogs that'll play with him because my dog won't play with him. And anyway, I said, okay, let's give it a go. She was happy to take him back if need be. But yeah, he wasn't very settled last night, and he barked and barked and barked, which is normal for the first night. But we didn't get a lot of sleep. I'm a bit croaky.
Yeah.
But then this morning he did settle and we did sleep. But this morning he just barked constantly at me and the girls, and me telling him no became more of a game for him. Whereas the girl that I got him from, she said he listened to her, and I thought, if he's not listening to me, this isn't going to work. So And my
Yeah,
girls
you
were
can't have
getting,
too many sleepless nights.
no, and my girls were getting distressed. Well, it wasn't the sleep that was the problem.
Yeah.
It was from 6 a.m. to when I left at 9, he was barking most of the time and
Yeah.
it was doing my head in. So yeah, sorry, little pup. And look, the girl I took him back to works at the vet and
Right.
she'll have other options. She does have other
Yes.
options. So I didn't feel too bad about it. You
Well,
know,
and look, I think it's amazing what you do, and an amazing, yeah, it's such a great thing that you can offer the community in looking after these beautiful dogs. And at the same time, it's got to fit
yeah.
in your life. And I know that the people from Soda, because that's which is
Starting over dog rescue.
yeah,
Yeah.
that they really appreciate what you do and what your family does and what other people do. I'd love to be able to do it, but I can't where I am
Yeah.
at the moment. It's a great thing, but yes, then they understand it's got to fit in with your life and
Yeah.
and with your other animals.
Exactly. And hopefully, we can take in another dog that will fit in with us. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
cool.
So, what did you get up to this morning, Joe?
Well, I first did my exercises, which I do every day, my shake and bake and
Yes.
Tibetan rites, and I did my meditation, and then I went. I look after an autistic girl, and I went to get her out of bed, which didn't happen. But she has a brother who's autistic, who normally doesn't speak to me at all. But okay, go back a step. When I was trying to get the young lady out of bed, I thought, what can I talk to her about? Because a lot of stuff I talk to her about, she tells me to be quiet, but not as polite as that. And so then I remembered yesterday I went to a local market and talked to a honey man about the bees. And as a lot of people may be aware of, there's a real problem with bees because of the mites.
Mm.
But I didn't tell her that. I thought what I told her was that, did you know, because she loves Nutella, which is not good for you, but anyway, that's another story. I said to her, did you know that the nuts in Nutella, that the bees help the nuts in Nutella grow from pollinating? And she was interested and she was listening. I thought, oh, yay, I'm onto something here. I'll get her out of bed, but I didn't. Anyway, then I was talking to her brother, who is also, autistic, and I was telling him, we get in the car and there's a bee on my windscreen. It's like, wow, talk about speak and you shall get.
Yeah.
And so we then had a conversation about it and talked about, what bees do and all of that. And best conversation I've had with this young man, which was really, really lovely. And but I've actually got one of them, which is this is what one-sided bottle brush. Because the thing about honeys is, which I have only, I mean, I knew honey was good, and I used to get the kids and I royal jelly, which is part of, what comes from the bees. But I didn't realize that there's honeys that have a lot of medicinal properties and that you can actually use it for your immune system and for burns and cuts and things like that. So he was telling us yesterday all about how these different ones, and one of them is
Manuka. Yeah.
Manuka, which is the
Yeah.
most popular, most well-known one.
Mm.
But this one-sided bottle brush is like 10 times, I could be wrong about 10 times, but it's much stronger when it comes to medicinal. So just like a quarter of a teaspoon per day will be really good for your immune system. So I'm starting to take that. And I also found out, because I said it never goes off, does it? And he said, well, we can put on the label that it lasts 2,500 years. Because they found some honey in an Egyptian tomb just recently, and it was still okay. And they knew that tomb was 2,500 years. So when we're 2,500 years plus our age,
Yes. We'll have to throw it out if it's.
we might have to get rid of it. Yeah. What
It-
did you say? What did you say
we
do with that?
could put in our will to our kids, grandkids, great.
I think that's great. Yes, yes.
Well, you might be able to if you're having only a quarter of a teaspoon.
Exactly. And my son who was with me, one of my sons who was with me, he bought 3 of them.
Right.
And they're not cheap because, they are such amazing honeys. And I thought, well, His may last that long.
Maybe I could buy one off him. I've got Manuka honey, but I didn't know of this honey. So
Well, you could, yeah, because he's got plenty. You know, he goes down to, because there's one in near you in the peninsula that you can go to and get these honeys. But yeah, well, and I'll also let you know when the next market is.
That's great. That sounds awesome.
So there you go. What interesting mornings we've had, and it's, you know, the beginning of the day still.
I know. How crazy. Yeah, well, I bailed this morning on exercise because as you know, my hubby is working not locally today, and because of our foster dog, I needed to make him his juice for the day because he spends half his day drinking juices. So that was the other thing I was doing at 6 o'clock this morning, was juicing.
So there you go. What interesting lives we lead.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for this session.
Yeah, and I think we'll ask people who are listening to, when we post this on our Facebook page, we can get people to comment what they do with their mornings.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, because they may give us some great ideas of other things we can be doing.
Yes, that's right. All right. Well, yes, and I think we're both about to rush off to other meetings as well.
Exactly. Yes. So bye from Jo.
And bye from Vicky.
You've been listening to the Two Natural Ladies podcast. Visit twonaturalladies.com.au for more information. Thanks for joining us.